What's up? Just wanted to hop on again today and share a little bit more about my story. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about why I got into cryptocurrency specifically. A lot of the stuff I want to do at the beginning of these videos is just kind of share how I got to where I am right now. And not in terms of, say, success or anything like that, but really just in terms of my process and my rationale, to give you some idea, if you're interested, of course, in why I got to cryptocurrency. Because when I first started trading, one of the biggest challenges I had was figuring out really what to trade. One of the mistakes I made, or one of the realizations I made, was a lot of the things that I started to trade when I first started out was what I thought I had to do. And I coach a lot of students on how to trade. And one of the things I tell them is really go with your gut, go with your passion, go with your interest. That is going to get you closer faster. Well, at least that's what got me closer faster. For example, when I first got into trading, say the initial thing was to be a stock trader. That was like the cool, sexy thing to do when I was younger. It was, you saw people on Wall Street, and that was like, if you were in finance, that was the thing to do. That was how you made, millions of dollars. Of course, they don't talk about the skill set that has to be created to get there, but that was the idea. So when I first started out, it was stocks, and I really wanted to be a stock trader. And I went through a long period of trying to get the skill set. No one really was just there to give me like, this is how you trade. Nobody wanted to pull up a chart that I was around. I went to school for 5 years at a undergrad for studying finance. And literally in the 5 years that I got there, and this is what people told me to do to become a trader, is get a degree in finance. They pulled up a chart one time out of the 5 years I was there for literally 10 minutes. I was blown away. You might be asking like, well, why didn't you say something earlier? I didn't know. I was young. I just followed what, my superiors told me to do. I said, I wanted to be a trader. What do? They said, go to school for finance. They'll teach you how to trade. And that wasn't the case. If you maybe have a degree in finance as well, you'll notice that they didn't just like pull up charts, or at least at my school, they didn't pull up charts and just teach you how to, mark up entries, exits, risk management. No, they taught you like corporate finance, corporate accounting, very little on the trading side. They taught a little bit of technical analysis, but not enough. And so I was kind of lost. I ended up getting an internship as a bond portfolio manager. Wasn't necessarily looking to be a bond trader. It didn't seem as sexy as stocks at the time. So it was kind of like a sidestep. But even then, I had an internship at one of the best internships for being a bond portfolio manager intern. And it turned out when I got there, I was just the dude who basically ran reports and fetched the coffee. And when I asked my fellow bond portfolio managers, how do I trade? They told me, go ahead and take the CFA exam. They didn't want to spend time with me to teach their strategies. So I took the CFA exam, level 1, took 300 hours to study for. And even then, there was just like a small little section. It wasn't about trading. It was about everything related to finance. So at that point, I tried to trade stocks on my own and just had no idea what I was doing. I had so many years of trying to be this trader, this stock trader, and had no idea what I was doing. Opened up a brokerage account and just bought, all the big names, Apple, Google, whatever. And my portfolio just started going down, 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 down. And I was like, I don't even know what to do right now. I'm just losing money. So I eventually quit that and quit my whole vision on being a trader at that point. I'd spent years pretty much getting nowhere. And to see that I had no skill set after all these years and totally didn't know how to trade stocks, I stopped. And then a few years went by, started doing some other things, got into the fitness space, corporate finance as well. And I saw people trading the foreign exchange market. And long story short, a lot of the people I surrounded myself with really in the online education space was the foreign exchange market. And there's nothing against that market. It just didn't resonate with me. It was something I was like, wow, everybody's trading it. It must be the cool thing to do. But it just didn't resonate with me. So if it didn't resonate, looking back, not resonating, I couldn't put all the focus into it. I couldn't put all the trust into it. I didn't really know anybody who was super successful, at trading foreign exchange. People said they were, but I didn't really see any proof. And for some reason, cryptocurrency was just spinning in the background. It was always that kind of rogue asset class that I kept hearing over and over again. Bitcoin was at here, then it's at there, talking about XRP. And it just intrigued me. And it kind of lit a fire, the same kind of fire I had for the stock market. And that fire was, this is new, this is innovative, this is sexy, this is the thing that people are paying attention to, this is where the innovation is. And I just liked that feeling. The stock market, the allure and all that stuff, it had been years since I wanted to be a stock trader at that point. But this gave me a similar feeling. And I actually found people who were very successful in that space. So I kind of had that proof. But I decided to go out and check it out on my own. It was just something I decided to do. I was like, you know what, this interests me. So I'm going to decide to do this. And little by little, I would find these trades, I'd find these coins, and they started to give me returns that were just really wild. I was like, this is kind of crazy to see these returns I'm having. And of course, this is a specific point in time. It was at the beginning of a bull market. But I was like, is anybody paying attention to this? And a lot of my fellow traders, they didn't trade cryptocurrency. And I was trying to tell them like, hey, I think I'm onto something here. And eventually started to get myself into circles who did trade cryptocurrency. And these weren't people who necessarily knew what they were doing necessarily, but we all got into a group and we decided to all go for it together. We decided to experiment with this asset class, and it was one of the most powerful experiences I ever had. And again, this is a specific time, a point in time in the market where this could happen in a bull market. But eventually we had a group of a few hundred people and we would just talk about how much money we made. We weren't official or anything or under the radar, but we were talking how much money we made every single week. And at the beginning, it was just a few people saying, hey, I made $100 here. Some, crazy person maybe made $1,000 or $5,000. But we hit this bull market. And by the end of the bull market, the lowest amount of money that I heard out of hundreds of people was like $5,000. The lowest. There was people who made 10,000. That was pretty common. 20,000, 50,000. We had 100,000. We had a few millionaires. It was crazy. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen again. This was a specific point in time, but that's what opened my eyes. And I was like, you know what? I've never seen anything like this before. And it changed my life. I no longer had to worry so much about the bills. And I felt free. I felt free to be my best self. And I had that financial burden actually alleviated off of me a little bit. And I saw other people get that financial burden alleviated off of them as well. Some people could even retire or have money to set away for retirement. Some people could pay the bills for the whole year. And that, to me, I thought was a worthy cause and kind of a sign that cryptocurrency was the spot for me. And it wasn't until I did more research did I just start falling more in love with the space. And on the stream, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a view of that, of what cryptocurrency really is. So quick, just kind of fundamentals of why cryptocurrency. It's really the space where the average individual is going to have tremendous financial opportunities that they didn't have before because of the decentralized aspect of cryptocurrency. So what a lot of people don't know about cryptocurrency, or one of the fundamental reasons why crypto got popular, is because you can actually create a decentralized network because it runs on its own system, its own code base, and it can be validated peer-to-peer and secured through cryptography, hence cryptocurrency. And that creates a unique vehicle that we have not had in our history that allows financial products to be built by communities and not owned and regulated by just a single entity, like a government. So if you don't know, a lot of the financial products right now, they're really regulated, for better or for worse. But the biggest piece is the average individual is not going to have access to a lot of these financial products that the ultra rich have access to. For example, a lot of investment products require you to be what's called an accredited investor. And that means you have to have either $1 million net worth or have made $200,000, I believe, for 2 consecutive years. That's not the average person. So to be able to get into a lot of investment products, the average person is not going to be able to do that. But with cryptocurrency, this is the first time in history where the average individual will be able to participate, ideally, in these products. So this really caught my eye. I thought this was really, really powerful to kind of see the financial powers come back to the people. And it just really is something that I believe in. Understanding the need, or at least from a historical perspective, how centralized systems tend to collapse again and again and again. And it has to do with basic human characteristics, fear and greed. And if you take those out of the equation and you program an economic system or an economic product that's actually programmed and can't be manipulated by just a single entity, that is powerful, in my opinion, because we're seeing, inflation across the world, like the case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a fixed supply, whereas, say, fiat dollars, say the United States dollar, can be printed into infinity. And we've seen countries print their money into infinity, where it's basically worthless, where people are paying, for apples with briefcases of cash. And it just happens over and over and over again with these centralized systems with no real hard governing rules. So, long story short, I see the power of this, creating decentralized applications where you can bring the power back to the people. What are our applications right now? We have Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. These applications are ran by a very small number of people, relatively speaking, and they're controlled. And these organizations, say social media, that they control our data. But what cryptocurrency gives is the ability to have democratic control over these new apps that are being created on the blockchain. So with the invention of Ethereum, that is where until then, people could actually build applications on a decentralized network where it's not as regulated. So the tough piece is, will it continue to be unregulated? Is it something that the average individual will always be able to participate in? Hopefully. I think with blockchain technology, there's always going to be a space that's free for the people, but also there's going to be regulations, of course, for some of these. So that is basically on the fundamental side where I'm really, really excited about cryptocurrencies, is really bringing the power back to the people in terms of, the financial aspect. So number 2 is from a more price appreciation perspective. With innovation, you're going to see a lot of attention on that. You're going to see people wanting to get involved in that. And if it's solving problems that we have currently, that would build a scenario that it would be more valuable over time. So the question I ask is really, how does cryptocurrency compare to everything else out there right now? Because me as an investor, me as a trader, I want to be in the most powerful vehicle possible. So let me just pull up the charts here really quick. So what I have here is the total crypto market. So let's see here. Let me just make sure it's on a log scale. Let's go on the monthly time frame. Okay, this is only since 2015 and it's on a log scale, but here is the total crypto market. And just wonder what would the percentage increase be of this market since, say, the lows of 2014, 2015. So from low to high, this market has gone up 103,000%, give or take. That's pretty crazy. Well, how does that compare to, say, any other market right now? Of course, crypto's newer. That's going to give it a huge advantage. But let's go ahead and look at, say, the S&P 500. Let's take the same point in time. Say we're investing in the stock market, 2015. It's almost 10 years ago, okay? See right here around 2015. Where is it? Let's get a low point so we can give it as much as we can to say its current high. That's 176%. That's tremendously different. So if you're investing in cryptocurrency, of course, you have to be in the right coins, etc. There's no cryptocurrency index, but you're seeing that being a very powerful asset class. It's 100, what is it? Geez, hundreds of times bigger. Let's look at something else like gold. How has gold performed since around 2015? Let's just take its lowest point here and go to its high, 105%. Okay. So crypto beat the stock market, crypto beat gold. Really, I can't find anything else that compares to cryptocurrency. You can even look at, say, the real estate market. Look at this, from low to high. Let's just get a nice low here. That's 100% on average. Of course, individual properties, there's going to be some outliers, etc. Now let's look at, just say, Bitcoin. Say you looked at Bitcoin and you were to invest, say, starting in 2015. Let's go ahead and look down here at the lows here and go to the highs. We're looking at around 32, or let's just say 30,000%. Really crazy stuff. And the popular smaller altcoins like Ethereum, Solana, they've done similar, if not greater numbers. So in that aspect, I was like, okay, it's innovative, it's solving a major problem, and it's very powerful. Historically, actually, statistically, it is or has been the most powerful asset class in the last decade by a factor of 10. So if you invested in, say, the major cryptocurrencies over the last decade, you would have beat every other investment opportunity by a factor of 10. So that's powerful to me. So a lot of people, they think, of course it's high risk, but if you understand the skill set of investing, the skill set of trading, that skill set is literally risk management. Now, if you don't have that skill set, it becomes much more risky. But if you understand the risks that you're going into, and you know how to manage risks, especially with trading, and that's why I love trading, is now I can participate in this super volatile, super high-paced growth sector and be able to take advantage and protect my risk. And that's where I found it to be incredibly powerful. From a long-term perspective, it's beat everything out there. And from a short-term perspective, at least how I have learned how to trade this market, I can find moves that move very, very fast and, to either way, but say it's in my favor, I'm in profit very quickly. I can actually be in profit very quickly and protect my risk very quickly. And to me, it's actually safer than trading something slower, because a lot of times if things are moving slower, they don't move away from your entry point very quickly. It might come back. It might take its time. You don't get in profit as quickly. Now, of course, you have to be right, etc. But I found when I do have winners in the crypto space, especially the way I trade, they are big winners very quickly, and I can protect my capital. So say I'm risking $100 and the move is at minimum 2 to 1. I've gained $200 in that example. I could take, say, 50% off, or I can take my full position off. I can move my stop loss to break even, but I'm in profit. And of course, you can be in profit in other asset classes, but I found cryptocurrency specifically, and the way I've learned how to trade, that I can actually be in profit, have taken profit, and manage my risk and be either break even or be in profit, being stopped out in profit if the market turns against me, much easier than the stock market, than the Forex market. And that's why I love this space. And that's why I want to teach people about this space and teach people how I look at this space. I'm not going to say that my way is the right way or anything like that, but I found something that has worked for me. I found something that has taken me over a decade to figure out. And I want to be the person I wish I was in this space. So that's really my point of this video is why cryptocurrency. So crypto has just been something that has been incredibly powerful for my life. It's been incredibly powerful for other people's lives. I found through trial and error a way to really benefit from this space, and it being the most powerful asset class in the last decade by a factor of 10. If you understand how to manage your risk, you really understand this market well, you understand how to trade this market, you understand how to protect your capital, I think the crypto space is the greatest space to be. The most powerful asset class where the innovation is, that's really where I want to be. And say cryptocurrency ends up somehow being a flop and there's other innovation out there, of course, I'm going to be looking for that innovation. That's really what I want to do. That's what I want to do to help people, is get them on the right side of innovation, because I think life is a lot easier when you're on the right side of innovation. I say when you're on the right side of innovation, you can actually stumble across success. It's a lot easier to do that. For example, say you became a YouTuber when YouTube just started, or you became an Instagrammer when Instagram just started. It was a lot easier to accidentally get followers than it is now when it's more saturated. It's not as innovative. It's very normal to be on social media right now. So the ability to just stumble across massive success is lower. But since crypto is so new, there's so much innovation to come here. I truly believe if you're that person that decides to jump into the crypto space, since the innovation's on our side, you can actually stumble across success. I know it's happened for me. I know it's happened for other people. It takes a skill set to do that. You have to really know how to last the test of time. But if you can just keep yourself in one piece, not blow up, not go broke, when you're on the right side of innovation, it's really the spot to be. So hope that helps. Wanted to share a little bit about why cryptocurrency on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.